You know, and so I reached out. I thought, this needs to be transformed in my experience. Well, so I began to feel better about it. And then in August of 2008, I was, Caroline, you know, my daughter Caroline, we were looking for colleges. And I had never even considered that school in the frame of reference of colleges. And Caroline and I were at the lake, and I said, you know, how would you like to go down to Moscow and tour the college? What do you think? And she says, well, sure, let's go down. So we got her soccer portfolio together, and we still had no idea where she was going, and so we jumped in the car and drove down on a Monday. It was August 19th, and we drove down, and we did a campus tour, and we walked over to the coach's office, and we knocked on the door. We thought we'd leave her portfolio, and he was there. So he called us in, you know, and it's not like the soccer programs has all these employees. It's just him, you know, and a couple of other folks. And so we walk in, gave him the portfolio. Well, you know, we took one look at Caroline, and, you know, she's an athlete, and she had her tank top on, and she looks like an athlete, you know. And so he got interested. And so he invites her back for practice, gives us a tour of the Kibbe Dome, all this kind of stuff. And then we went over to Washington State, did a tour over there, and then came back and went to practice, and then we went back home. And, you know, to make a long story short, she ends up getting an offer to play soccer at the University of Idaho. Now she's at school there. You all know that. I've told you that a million times, and I'm probably going to beat it into the ground before she's out of there. But she's going to school there, and now I'm walking around wearing all my Vandal gear, right? You know, my sweatshirt and T-shirts, and I'm going over there all the time, you know, going to games, and I've been on campus, and I've been to a couple of football games this past fall, and the whole experience has changed. And that never would have happened had I not healed it, or at least took the first step to heal it. It wouldn't have happened. So, I changed my daughter's future, not intentionally, but because I was willing to do the work. But not only did I change her future, I also changed my experience. That I feel lighter. I feel healed of that experience. You know, and I still remember it. It's not that I've forgotten it, but I bless it. And I, you know, send it on its way. I recognize that it was a part of my journey, and it's an experience of pain that I can let go of, and I can feel lighter and live more lightheartedly in my daily life. I can be on campus and feel good about being there. I can walk around and have memories, because there were good things that happened. It wasn't all bad. There were lots of good things, but you know, the bad things have this way of being insidious, and they override oftentimes a lot of the good experiences that we have, because we get so kind of enmeshed in them. And when we stop and we heal them, and we bring forgiveness into our experience, and we allow Spirit to work and move within us in a powerful way, amazing things happen that we have no idea are going to unfold in our life. Relationships show up in our life, experiences come forth, job opportunities present themselves. I mean, it runs the gamut, because we took just a few moments to be conscious and to heal ourselves, and to make that a part of our journey, and to bring joy back into our life, to move from joy killed to joy filled. You know, I see no value in my life in wielding the sword of anger or hurt. I see no value in doing that. And yet, that's a common part of how the world shows up, how we express ourselves. I think Jesus laughed a lot. I think he was lighthearted even in the presence of a culture that was very violent and very difficult. And his life ended, or the transformation of his life occurred in the context of violence that was relatively normal in that world experience. And yet, he emerged, and you know, the whole feeling of that last chapter of the Bible and the resurrection has this sort of light feeling to it, this sort of sense of joy. And that's the joy that we experience when we move into that journey of Christ consciousness. And we know that there's no anger that cannot be healed. There's no despair that is too imposing for us. It's never too big or too late to move from the experience of our joy having been killed to becoming joy-filled. I want to close with a simple little poem that I wrote. How do you want to live your life? Is joy appealing to you? Is lightness something you want to feel? If so, can you just be willing for something new? We don't have to live with anger and pain, although it seems like it much of the time. To be light on your feet is such a trip, you can feel the presence of the divine. Laughter is the result of a heart that is free. To be open and real and true. From deep within, the laugh begins, and it heals both me and you. But pain is such an insidious thing, it is not very easily dismissed. But our natural state is one of joy, and it is surely the thing we have most missed. We are not here to defeat those joy killers today. We are here to transform them anew. From anger and doubt to peace and joy is a journey that is made by all too few. I invite you today to be joyful and free, at least as much as you possibly can do. And see how much better you begin to feel, and how the sky starts to look so much more blue. A simple step to heal the pain is a step in the direction of your good. And doing the work is exciting and sweet, and you will feel exactly as you thought that you could. God bless you.